Manchester United have won 4 games on the bounce for the first time this season, and there's no coincidence that this form has come hand in hand with the new dynamic of the front three, consisting of Marcus Rashford, Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho. In the 6 games that Erik Ten Hag's trio have started together, they have scored 11 of Manchester United's 16 goals, which is even more impressive when you consider that they've only scored 15 goals combined this campaign. Before the front three changed, Manchester United were averaging a goal per game in the Premier League. Since changing, they're now averaging 2.5 goals per game, and their shot conversion rate has taken a huge leap, with it being 11.4% higher in the past 6 games in comparison to the rest of the season. So we're here to break down how Erik Ten Hag has changed the dynamics to get the best out of his attackers. Since Boxing Day, the Red Devils have averaged less possession and fewer build-up attacks, but have made up for this by having more direct attacks and fast breaks. So Ten Hag's team have turned to a more transitional style once again, where they can generate as much space in behind for their attackers as possible. As shown in their 3-0 victory over West Ham, Manchester United had 52% of the ball and had 10 fewer shots than the Hammers, but they were focused on catching their opposition in a disorganised moment and winning the ball higher up the pitch in turnover, rather than taking complete control of the game and chipping away at their low block. And it's this style that gets the best out of their attacking players. Starting with Alejandro Garnacho, he scored 4 goals in the games where he started off the right, in comparison to his 1 goal and 2 assists in the 16 Premier League games he's played off the left. Because of the way Manchester United have played recently, he's having less overall involvement in the game, therefore he's recording fewer touches, fewer passes and even fewer shots. However, in Garnacho's case, less is more. Since moving to the right, Garnacho is now attempting more dribbles, having more successful take-ons, he's creating more expected assists, and is creating more overall chances. And this is mostly down to him having the ability to make the most of these counter-attacking moments, especially when United sit in their 4-1-4-1 mid-block and are looking for turnovers, so they can release Højlund, Rashford and Garnacho in behind, with them all excelling when the game is end-to-end. The difference between Garnacho and Marcus Rashford off the right is how versatile Garnacho is when shooting with both feet. 5 of his 12 professional goals for Manchester United are from his weaker side, and whilst the sample sizes have a major disparity, Garnacho has scored 41% of his goals on his left foot, which is far greater than Marcus Rashford's 14%. Not to mention he's also top of the Premier League ranks when it comes to shots from carries and chances created from carries combined, whilst he sits in 4th in the entire Premier League division for per 90 progressive carries, showing just how willing he is to run at defenders and get his team higher up the pitch. Next up is Rasmus Højlund. Having gone 14 Premier League games without a goal, Højlund has found his goal scoring prowess, with 5 in 5 along with 2 assists. The goal streak becomes more impressive when you realise that he's only taken 8 shots and received 2.33 expected goals in the league since Boxing Day, but has a massive 62.5% conversion rate. Ten Hag now has 2 wingers who can create chances for Højlund in the positions that he was already getting into, but what Højlund has improved on most notably is his facilitating. Now that he's playing consistently with 2 hungry direct wingers, he can bring them into play a lot more, whilst he's also coping with the Premier League's demanding physicality. His back-to-goal players come on leaps and bounds, and he's starting to build a genuine connection with the forwards who are running around him. However, Højlund still needs more service. Among the 43 strikers to play 250 minutes up till Christmas, Højlund's 14.8 passes received per 90 ranked him 39th in the entire of the Premier League, with only 3 of them passes being played into the box. However, in his last 6 Premier League games, despite Manchester United having less of the ball, these numbers have drastically improved. He's not only receiving more passes overall, but he's received already double the amount of passes into the penalty area, showing that the dynamics and personnel within the front three are helping him have more important actions closer to goal. When speaking about Rasmus Højlund needing more service, we can directly move on to Marcus Rashford, who this season has been the Danes' most complimentary forward partner, with Rashford playing more passes to him than any other forward player. And after a tough start to the 23-24 season, it looks like he's found his feet again too. Having registered only 3 direct goal involvements in his first 17 Premier League games, the England forward now has 4 in his last 6 since Boxing Day. And quite simply, he's stripped his game back. He's taking fewer shots and stitching together more attacks. Inside the penalty area, Rashford is one of the best dribblers in the Premier League. He has the most successful take-ons that lead to a shot in the entire division this season. Since Boxing Day, we've started to see more of them outside to inside direct runs that we associated with Marcus Rashford last season, with the difference now being that he has good enough outlets around him so that he doesn't have to do it all himself. So, do you think Manchester United's attack will propel them into the Champions League spots come the end of the season, or do you believe they still have too big of a gap to close?